voice. In this video, I'm gonna be walking you through the perfect diet, everything you need to be eating for fat loss, muscle gain, and gut microbiome health, which we will talk about later in the video. There are a few foods that you probably have in your house today that can do all these things. And this diet is really simple, it's maintainable, it's cheap, it's affordable, I just said that, it's accessible, and they're really easy to cook. I used to be really skinny, and it wasn't until I started eating this diet that I started seeing a change in my physique, and not only my physique, but how I felt, and especially how I thought, and like my focus throughout the day. So I thought that was pretty interesting with this diet. It will definitely help you with focusing and getting work done, especially in the mornings. And this video will go over each part of the diet separately. So first we're going to go over muscle mass, then we're going to go over fat loss, and then finally we're going to go over gut microbiome and health and what that means. So starting off with muscle mass and muscle gain, the easiest way to put this is eating more protein makes more muscle. If you don't remember anything from this video, I want you to remember that. Protein equals muscle. That's all you need to know. And every day you have a protein synthesis meter that when you eat protein goes up, but throughout the day starts to go down again. So what we want to do is we want to keep this as high as possible throughout the day, as much as possible. And how we're going to do this is through fasting with protein scoops. Now I'm going to explain that in a second, but what this protein synthesis meter looks like is when you wake up, it's sort of low, but when you eat protein, it goes up, but then throughout the day, it starts to go down again, and then you eat more protein, up, and then you get the point. Down, up, you get the point. What we're gonna do is we're gonna wake up and we're gonna have one protein scoop. And when we wake up, we're gonna be fasting for 6 to 7 hours. Now this might seem scary, but honestly, it's not too bad once you're eating protein scoops throughout the day. So every 2 to 3 hours, we're gonna have one protein scoop. So when we wake up, that's our first 2 to 3 hours, right? And we're gonna sit down and do some work for 2 to 3 hours. And then we're gonna have another one. 2 to 3 hours, then we're gonna have another one. And then around this time, this should be your time where you work out. After that 6 to 7 hours of fasting. And during this time, you're gonna have your highest carb meal. And what carbs do is supply energy to your muscles. So that's why we wanna have it before our workout, but not immediately before. We wanna have it an hour and a half before, so our body has time to digest and give us that energy that we just ate. And like I said, this comes from carbs, and carbs produce glycogen in your muscle, and glycogen helps blood flow and energy. So if you want a really big pump and you want to feel better in the gym and feel stronger, eat carbs an hour and a half before. Now we're going to talk about a specific meal that you can make at your house at the end of the video that is really protein high, carb high, and fat high as well. Not fat high, moderately fat. Wait, how do you say that? It has moderate fats in it. There you go. That's moderate fats in it, and we're going to talk about that meal at the end of the video. Now, there are a few carb sources that are mentioned a lot, but the best one to eat are complex carbs, and this comes from things like potatoes and rice. Now, I like rice, but I don't like it as much as potatoes. That's just me personally, and I think potatoes are very much a better source of carbs than rice are, just because I don't know, I just don't really think rice is that good. But potatoes are really good, especially sweet potatoes, and I like to eat sweet potatoes a lot. So potatoes for carbs, and carbs help energy. I hope you understand that. I hope I'm making this as simple as possible. Now, we talked about fats a little bit, but not much, and fats aren't really linked to muscle growth. They're really just for hormone optimization. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna eat moderate fats. So what this means is eating avocados, eating nuts, eating, I think olive oil has fats in it, eating those things. Steak and beef also have moderate fats in them as well. So if you want to eat that with your protein meal, however, we're going to talk about protein, the different types of protein in a second. If you want to eat steak and beef for your protein and fats, that's totally fine. it might be even good because steak and avocado and nuts and moderate and things with fats in them do increase testosterone. So you do want to be eating those anyway. So that's actually really good that you're going to be eating them. Now, with protein, I do want to do a little side note on the range of protein and sources of protein. Now, I'm telling you, everyone says 1 gram per pound of body weight for protein. So if I'm 150 right now, I would have to eat 150 grams of protein, which is completely fine, and that's very reasonable. However, when you get to the bigger side of weightlifting and bodybuilding and weight, it starts to get a little crazy because there are 220-pound people who should not be eating 220 pounds of protein every day. 220 pounds, 220 grams of protein every day. Now, unless you're taking steroids, you should be eating around 120 to 180 grams of protein per day. 1 gram per pound of body weight is good if you're sort of on the lighter side, from anywhere from 120 to 190. That's fine, but anywhere beyond that, you should just go for the 120 to 180 range for protein. Now, we're going to talk about minimizing fat gain and increasing fat loss. Now, what we talked about before, fasting, and we all know that that's the best way to improve fat loss and minimize fat gain, and not fasting from everything, because fasting is only fasting from certain foods. And what we're going to do is, like I said, with the protein, we're going to do a 6 to 7 hour fast with protein scoops in between every 2 to 3 hours. Like I said before, this will up our protein synthesis meter, and once it starts to go down, and we're fasting as well, it'll start to go up. So all we're doing is building muscle and making ourselves stronger. Now, carbs, I wouldn't eat if you want to fast, because carbs do retain water, and the best time to eat carbs, and the only really time you should be eating carbs, is around your workout, so before and after. But other than that, you should not be eating carbs, and minimize it to only protein. I want to just say one more point about minimizing fat gain, and that's simply just eating more protein. Protein is very important. I don't know if you've noticed yet, but it's very important. And if you want to minimize fat gain, all you need to do is eat more protein and eat less carbs. That's it. Most of your calories should be protein, and most of your calories should be protein. Now we're going to talk about gut microbiome and health. Now, what this means is simply how healthy you are. Your gut microbiome is sort of like your stomach and how healthy that is. And how we can improve this is just simply by eating whole foods and not eating all this crap like McDonald's and Chick-fil-A all the time. Now, whole foods are simply just foods which ingredients are just themselves. And what this means is, for example, if you go to a potato bag and you look at the ingredients, there is no ingredient list, because all that's in it are potatoes, because that's what potatoes are made of. So you want to be getting foods like that. You want to be getting foods mostly that have only the ingredient that is themselves, if that makes sense. And I do understand that I know that meat has ingredients in it, like, I don't know, like preservatives or some stuff like that. It has preservatives and stuff. But in general, if you get food, you want to be getting food that is classified as a whole food and not food with like multiple ingredients in it. If you saw a bag with potatoes with multiple ingredients in it, don't get it. It's not potatoes. So you want to be eating whole foods, and that will increase your gut microbiome. However, there are some specific foods that you can be eating that will increase your gut microbiome health, and those are apples, artichokes. I don't know, you get what I'm trying to say. Blueberries, white kidney and pinto beans, lentils and chickpeas, and as well as vegetables like broccoli and nuts like almonds. All these foods can increase your gut microbiome health. And as you can see here, most of those are whole foods anyway. So increasing your health has to do with whole foods. So eat more whole foods and you will feel better. Now that that's all covered, I want to fulfill my promise to you and give you a meal that you can be making every day for the rest of your life. It's very simple. all you need to do is get potatoes, a vegetable mix, and some protein source of your choice. Now, what you're gonna do is you're gonna cut up the potatoes into slices, and then you're gonna put them on a pan, and then you're gonna put the vegetables on it as well. Then you're gonna put your seasoning, and then you're gonna drizzle olive oil on it, because olive oil is really good for fats, and just in general, it's a very good source of fats and healthy fats at that. Then you're gonna drizzle that on your meal, and then you're gonna put it in the oven for 425. Now, for the protein, you can add whatever protein source you want on the side or in it maybe. I don't do that really that much. I just add it on the side, or I'll make like beef on the side, or chicken, or like a chicken sandwich. I don't eat bread that much, but this is like the only exception. I do eat bread if I do eat a chicken sandwich. If not, I'll probably just put chicken in it just because it makes it easier and I don't have to eat bread. But it's a really simple meal. It's an affordable meal. You can be making it for the rest of your life every single day. This is a meal especially good before workouts because it's high in carbs. I wouldn't eat this after a workout. I'd probably eat more of a protein high meal, and just because you need your muscles to grow more, but you should still be eating carbs after your workout, but not obviously too late after. The window for your protein synthesis, or like your anabolic window, I'm pretty sure you've heard of that before, is around 5 hours. Everyone said it's like, oh, like 10 minutes, oh, it's an hour. No, it's like 5 hours, and anything after that, really, you're losing muscle, but anything before that is completely fine. I would say limit it to 2 hours, because that just, honestly, it messes up your day, and when you're eating things 5 hours after, you just can't focus for that 5 hours. So I would just try to limit that to 2 hours. But with that all said, I do want to say that I do have a coaching program that I sell. It's one-on-one coaching, personalized and specialized for you and your goals, and it'll help you 10x your results. If you don't believe me, I've gone through the same thing as you. I've started in the gym around 2 years ago, and I've made amazing progress. If you saw the DMs that I got, you wouldn't believe me. Honestly, you would think I was lying, but the program does specialize and cater to your goals. I make a personal workout program and diet plan for you. I tell you what days to work out and what times to work out to max testosterone, and everything in between. So if you're interested in that, link in the description, book a call right now. See you guys in the next one.